Hey guys, it's Joe. So this is kind of my first YouTube video, and I say kind of because I used to make videos in the past. Because, actually, the reason that I didn't make any YouTube videos after that, or like I deleted all of them actually, just because I was too insecure and I was always like, okay, the time's gonna be right. In a few months, blah blah blah. But then I realized, you know what, the time is never going to be right, and I don't have the best situation financially. So I first have to get a camera and then I'll do it. But as you can see, I'm just filming. I'm just recording with my regular cam on the computer, like on the laptop. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. I was like, if I want to help people, I'm gonna do it, and if it's not the best quality, I don't care. I just want to get my story out there. So yeah, today I want to talk about addiction because I have been clean for 5 months now, actually, which may sound like not a long time, but a lot of things have changed in the way I live and feel while being clean. So and I really feel like I have gotten my control back, so that's why I still wanted to share this with you. I have been addicted. I'm still addicted, and I think I will be forever addicted because I don't know. In my opinion, with my situation, my story, I think it's okay to say once an addict, always an addict. It may not be for everyone, but to me, that's definitely the case because I still think about it. But the way that I decided to deal with it is very different, and I have learned a lot in these 5 months. So let's just get started. I was mainly an addict. I loved uppers. I don't know what it is, but I loved uppers. And my drug of choice has always been cocaine. The thing is, I loved MDMA much more because it gives me like the better high, I guess, because it really does something with the serotonin, like it releases it like in like one huge fucking wave in your brain. So I like that a lot more. But then I was put on antidepressants, and don't ever do this. I'm really I would like using drugs in general is just really stupid. Okay, like especially drugs that are like unregulated, like coke and ecstasy. But when I would try to take ecstasy on like antidepressants, it wouldn't work. I wouldn't feel good. I would feel like shit, and I would like hallucinate and everything. It's like that, not a fun experience. So the antidepressants were actually like kind of a medication that was like, bitch, I'm in your system, and I don't care if you want to take ecstasy because you're not gonna feel anything of it because of me. Thank you. Goodbye. So that problem was kind of solved the hard way. But whatever. Ecstasy was one of my favorites. Then when I knew I wasn't able to take ecstasy, I wanted to get my confidence from something else, and that was cocaine. Very bad, but whatever. And I also loved amphetamines, but not as much as cocaine because it didn't give me that feeling of like, hey, I can do this. I'm the man, you know? So, yeah. My problem was mostly with uppers, so cocaine, mostly. And I just wanted to talk about like the things that like, how do I stay clean? Like, how did I manage to go 5 months without using it and still feeling okay? At first, it's hard, obviously, but for me personally, I had to change a lot. And the first thing that I also still struggle with is deleting every person that, like, for me, it was necessary. Deleting every person that uses drugs or even has anything to do with it, or just them being okay with people using drugs. I wanted to be so far away from that environment that I literally, like, I don't know, sometimes when you use, in my opinion, with people, they are not bad people. I don't believe in like bad people, bad human beings. We used to have nice conversations and everything, but the thing is, like, it's just a destructive behavior, and if you want to change and the other is not willing to change, there's going to be a problem. Like, at least for me, that was a huge problem, because I would relapse every time that I knew they were doing it or whatever. They had friends doing it that were coming over. I would go crazy in my mind, you know. I would be like, okay, they have it there, and oh, maybe I can use it just one time because everybody does it, and it just seems to be normal over there, I guess. It kind of like minimalizes the problem, in my opinion. So that was really something I had to do. Just like, it's sad, but I had to like delete everyone that had anything to do with it, because it just made me want the drug again. It's as simple as that. And the second thing that I think is also like so goddamn important, a support system. So now you've eliminated all these like friends and that like still use those deadly fucking poisonous things, but you do have to find some people that are really like proud of you for making that choice and can help you. They don't have to be a recovering addict to maybe understand what you're going through, but just somebody who like also like motivates you to keep you on track, you know. That's also really important, in my opinion. And I found those people. I'm also in therapy, like I'm still going to therapy for it. And I also live in, like, I don't know how you say it in English because I'm from Belgium, but I'm gonna try to explain. I also live in like kind of like a shelter kind of thing where young adults can come to better their lives, and there's also counselors here who are helping us with like our struggle. It's not like for psychiatric disorders or anything, but most people that like have most people who are here have some issues at home and everything, so they're of course they are able to help. But for deeper problems, we of course have to go to like a therapist and everything. But this environment helps me a lot because it just keeps me on track, you know. And so yeah, the support group, I think it's so important because like sometimes we gotta be honest, like we can't do everything alone, and like especially with addiction, it's so damaging. It destroyed me, me personally. Like, it's just disgusting, and it's so helpful to just have people who can see that and who can support you, you know. I think that's just wonderful, actually. Then the next thing that helps me to stay clean is get in touch with my emotions, like making like just observing yourself, and just if you have desire to use drugs, just go like, why do I feel like I need to do it right now? I write down my emotions sometimes. I try to understand myself. I try not to judge how I feel and everything. And that's a long journey because it's not that easy, because we sometimes try to, you know, like just like get rid of the emotion, just like burn it into flames and not think about it. But the truth is, like, it will come back. It will come back, you know. So don't ignore how you feel, and talk to somebody about it in a safe environment, a person who is safe, you know, psychiatrist, whatever, a good friend. Like, that's important. Don't ignore how you feel. The next thing is finding your passion, you know. To me, that was drawing, as you can see back here, kind of like little old school things I did. To me, that was really important because now I'm also able, if I feel a certain way or I feel like, I want to use drugs or everything, I can just create, like, just display my feeling on the paper and just, you know, like draw how I feel and whatever, and just like, it's like writing. It just, but then I'm just turning it into like something you can look at, and something that other people can, yeah, you can share it, you know, and you can find constructive people who are also doing the same thing. And like, I just think it's very important because it's like it became my drug of choice now. But like, if you understand, it's like it's kind of addicting drawing. Like, I'm drawing a lot right now, but it's way better than, you know, using drugs or whatever. And I'm not doing this in a destructive way. It's a way for me to, you know, share how I feel. And I think, like, yes, it kind of saved me. I don't know, the drawing was very important to me, and it really helped me. Then also for me personally, I know being sober means different means something different to other people sometimes. To me, I've never had any problems with alcohol abuse, but some people might have had also problems with alcohol abuse. I didn't have that, so I do like to drink once every week, a little bit, or once every 2 weeks. It really depends. But I did notice because alcohol makes you actually just it's just, sometimes you just do things you don't want to do. You forget your boundaries and everything, and that can be really dangerous if you've been addicted to uppers or whatever, like you're at a party or whatever, at a pub or something, and then you drink and you're just like, oh fuck it, and like, oh, just one time. And I was like that, so I had to really watch out where I drink. I had to do it in kind of like a safe environment, and I just really like I cannot be entirely drunk. Like no, that's even not like back then I was like I just have to drink and I just have to get drunk and whatever. But now I'm like you're just gonna use drugs if you do that. Like you lose touch with how you feel and what you actually want in your life. It's also a fucking dangerous substance, alcohol. But I choose to drink from time to time, but I really have to watch it. So that's important. That was really important to me in my process of getting and maintaining sobriety. So the other thing that really helped me was just reminding me, like, if I was like, I want to use, I was like, girl, maybe you should think about the next day as well, because like when I wanted to use coke, I was like, oh yeah, I just want to feel great, for like about like 20 minutes, and after that, whatever, I'll just find some more, and like I don't know, just one time, it's okay, one time. No, to me, like actually, to me that's not okay. To me, one line is one line too much, that's a personal opinion, whatever. But the thing that really helped me was just thinking about the day after. And I think also school, like I go back to school right now, that really helped with me, because I was like, okay, no, this is your life. Drugs can be a part of that. You want to function. You don't want to have this like completely kind of sad state like the next day. You can't function like that. And I would feel like every time I relapsed, I would feel guilty and not be able to do my work, because I hated myself so much for relapsing. So I try to think like when I get desire, it's like, oh, the next day, and then I remember and I realize it's a stupid idea and I just don't do it. So that really helped me, just like, really focusing on the downsides, because actually there are more like drawbacks than good things, like way more. But sometimes like that little bit of like euphoria for 20 minutes can be really distracting. So I just try to like ignore that and think about how I'm gonna feel after that. Really important for me. The other thing that really helped me, and this is like so important, maybe the most important things, if you want to get sober and maintain that, you have to want to do it for yourself. Don't do it for a friend who's like, maybe you should quit. You have to want it yourself, like for real. I don't know, I don't really have anything much to say else about that, but do it for yourself. You have to want it yourself, otherwise it's not gonna work. Or maybe it will work for like a few, weeks and everything, and then you and a friend or a fucking girl or boyfriend, you break up and you're just like, fuck, what do I have to do now? And you just start using it again because you didn't really want it. You did it for somebody else. You have to do it for yourself. In my opinion, one of the most important things. Then also for me, this is a problem that I have. I'm aware that other people might not have this, but there is psychosis in my family, schizophrenia, and I know that these drugs, can make you a little bit crazy. And I also used to have like a lot of anxiety and whatever, and just like paranoid thoughts and everything, like especially from cocaine, like it was terrible. So to me, like I've seen a family member of me having psychosis that was like really bad. It affected me. And I don't know. I just also try to think about that because I don't want to end up like that. It's terrible to see. I wouldn't wish it on anyone to ever suffer psychosis. It's just terrible. I hate it. I don't know. Like that's literally all I can say about it. Like it's terrible. And I'm aware that some people will not understand because it's like maybe not talked about as much, but shit, man, believe me, it's not fun. It's not fun. Then also something that really helps me is my future because I actually like it's my dream is to be a counselor as well. I really want to, you know, with my experiences, like I also have another like I have a I'm just gonna say like whatever I have also a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. I also have emetophobia, blah 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 blah, ADHD, as you probably can tell, but hey. So all these things, like I want to get like the best out of it, you know, and just like focus on the future and help people and be a counselor, an inspiration, like just like something you can like think back on and be like, hey, Joe told me this, like maybe like yeah, I should also think about it and oh my god, maybe I want to be like her, you know, that would be the most incredible thing to, you know, experience that somebody is looking up to you and maybe like even getting something out of it, like, and that really like inspires me a lot to stay off of these drugs and don't let a stupid like desire or something just let me relapse, you know. I don't relapse is sometimes part of the process, you know, to learn everything. But for now, to maintain my sobriety, I've been thinking about that future that I want so dearly also does a lot to me because out of all these experiences, I just want to get the most positive situation out of it that you can imagine, you know, like just helping other people. I want to share and everything, you know, like I think it's one of the most beautiful things you can actually do. Then also something like this is the last one actually. I like wrote these things down, you know, because like my mind goes a little sad sometimes and I forget a lot of things. But to me also, when I quit drugs, sometimes your desire and everything makes you forget about the dangers that's actually, you know, like inside of these drugs. And it also like kind of has to do a little bit with psychosis. But to me, like, I don't know, I just do this, but like sometimes I Google like, you know, bad drug experiences, like hospital trip drug experience, whatever. Like I just research the hell out of the worst scenarios that could happen of, you know, using drugs, and I don't know, it makes me afraid. And also I'm like, yeah, maybe I should stay sober, you know, maybe that's a good idea. Just because like just like reminding myself again and again of the danger and seeing how other people have suffered and reflecting back on the dangerous situation that I have put myself into physically but also mentally, you know, it just keeps me on track. And it may sound weird that I like take time to watch all these like sad things, but to me it works because I forget like that little tiny positive euphoria thing that you have when you take these drugs, you know. I tend to forget about that because like the drawbacks are much more, they're just huge, you know. You can't compare it to that one little like good thing you get out of it. It's not even a good thing, you know. You're just running away from your problems, you're trying to cope or like whatever. That's at least the case for me. It's like actually there's not a great thing about it, like let's just do it, okay. I just did it, okay. But whatever. If you have any other questions or whatever, you can always ask me. I hope you enjoyed this kind of like rambly video. And if you're like still struggling with addiction or struggling, you know, with relapses or whatever, like I completely understand. You're not a bad person, and I really believe like you can do it, you know, like I always thought like that's the biggest difference. I always thought like I can do this. Like even when I was sober for like a month or something, I was like, I don't know, how can I live without these drugs? And like I thought it was not possible to be happy without them. But look at me now, bitch. Like I don't know. I'm very happy right now, and I actually finally have a feeling that I can do it without all these fucking stupid poisonous things. And I'm really happy about that. And yeah, that's why I'm sharing this and everything. So I really hope you have a good weekday, whatever. Peace, love, and all that good shit. Yeah, and if you have any questions, just ask me. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.